And when I hear people singing, you know, put your hand in the hand of him that walked on the water, forget it. Or the new song that's now, shake hands with Jesus. Listen, when you see Jesus, you're not going up and say, hey, buddy, I'm glad you died for me. When you see Jesus, you'll be almost paralyzed with fear unless you had a glorified body and a glorified mind. You see pictures of Jesus as a baby, you see him as a young man, you see him sometimes on the back of an animal riding into Jerusalem. But there's a picture I've only ever seen once, and it was so grotesque I didn't look a second time. In Australia they showed me the picture that they had, Beechcroft or somebody painted a picture of Christ in Australia. He's got lovely blonde hair and bright blue eyes and a lovely flaxen beard. Well, I don't think that was a picture of Jesus. And the Chinese have an interpretation of Christ through their artists. And there are some dreadful pictures, I think, that are being given by the great masters, so-called. And they've given us pictures of Jesus, but I'll tell you what, it's a very different picture in the Word of God. The picture of Jesus here is not the picture of a pathetic individual pushed around by anybody who wants to push him around. I think sometimes we think we're going to march up and say, well, you know, Jesus, do you know how many years I served you and how many souls I won for you and how many sermons I preached for you? Oh, no, 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 no. Well, what will he be like in heaven? Well, I'll tell you what the book says he'll be like. It says his hair is as white as snow. His feet are like burnished brass. His face is like the sun in its strength. His eyes are living coals of fire. His tongue is a sharp two-edged sword. And here is John, who used to lean his head on the bosom of Jesus and hear that divine heartbeat. The man that I believe knew more about Jesus than anyone else, and when he saw Jesus there on his throne in his majesty, with his face brighter than the sun, with his feet like burnished brass, with his eyes like flames of fire, with his tongue majestic and his voice like the sound of many waters, John, the man who had walked with him and talked with him for 3 years, says that when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. What do you think you and I are going to do?